and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the pre-show. Sorry, I guess it is. My name is DK. We got a full house here tonight. We got Choo Choo Stu, we got the Big B, and we've got a lot of fun stuff to catch up on from last week, as well as some new stuff that we've got in store for you. So you got to stay tuned. Boys, how are things in your neck of the woods, Big B?
Good over here, like we were just talking about before we went on. I'm very excited about the opening of the NHL season. I watched the Rangers get beat up pretty bad last night, but they got a good young team, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's weird. It's weird without the fans still, but I'm getting sick of football. I'm going to watch it, but
are all these players managing to stay Rona free at the moment?
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Well, because they're not over. Not that I follow soccer or football, as we call it, but what I hear is a lot of the players are dropping like flies.
Well, Dallas, I think, was the hot spot, like 12 players. Hey, it happened in the NCAA football. It's happening in basketball. I like what they're doing in hockey, though. They're keeping the Canadian teams in Canada. They're trying to isolate the divisions. I mean, fingers crossed, I guess.
And I think that has to more do with Canada's rules, right? Because of the travel restrictions that your prime minister put in place. That's what led to the NHL making so the Canada teams can't visit the U.S. and vice versa. So,
would the Americans want to be traveling international borders right now?
I don't. If you're talking about like Buffalo and New York heading up to Toronto and that, I don't think that's a huge issue.
I don't know. You're in a different country. I mean, we're all in the same boat, but I mean, I don't think right now governments of any government wants someone from another country, right? We don't think we're the bad guy, but you know what I mean? It's we haven't even started the countdown clock, so it's going to be a little off, folks. I'm going to reset it to 5 minutes.
Well, I'm curious then because I guess basketball season is underway, and I don't follow basketball at all, but I know Toronto has a team, but that's the only Canadian team. So now are they traveling to and from?
Screw this countdown clock. The Raptors are currently playing in Orlando. The Raptors are playing in Nashville, and the Blue Jays were playing in Orlando from baseball,
like permanently.
Yeah,
so they're not traveling. The Toronto Raptors, excuse me, they're not traveling back and forth between Canada and the U.S. They're staying in Nashville,
in the States. Yeah,
gotcha.
And I don't mean permanently, but until this all gets corrected.
Yeah, I get you.
But as far as there's enough, in any sport, there's not enough Canadian teams, but in Canada we have 7 NHL teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's exciting. I think you're going to see, and not just for Canada, for the Rangers, for all the divisions, you're going to be playing teams 10, 11 times this year. It's good, and every game is a 4-point game because every game is in your division.
Right.
So I think things are going to heat up quick and fast. It's only a 56 game season, right? So,
yep. So now I'm curious though. I don't know if you've heard or if they've even announced, but when it gets to playoff time and let's say the Cup Finals, if a Canadian team and a U.S. team is in the Cup Finals, how are they going to work that out?
Well, that's eventually inevitable, right? Because you've got a Canadian division, so you're going to get one team and then 3 American teams. So they're going to have to bubble again.
Oh, okay.
Right? Now, whether they bubble in Vegas or New York or Buffalo or Canada again, that's yet to be decided. I think they're hoping by summer. They're being aggressive with it.
Right.
maybe we will be able to travel again.
Right. Okay.
Who knows? Nobody knows. I told you this week, before we got a few minutes before we go live for the show, we are in a state of emergency again in Ontario. And I sent you guys the newspaper article where they're interviewing the premier, who is your governor. And they're, okay, what exactly is essential worker? Well, we can't exactly define that because there are so many jobs, and an essential worker for some is not an essential worker for others. What is an essential reason for leaving your house? Well, we can't define that clearly because, what's essential to one person is not essential to the next. Hopefully we get to a story tonight. You'll see what was essential to some people in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, if you're going to do a lockdown, you do a lockdown. If it's a state of emergency, I shared to you guys also during the week, we got one of those, what do you call it, Amber Alerts.
Are you still there, Big B?
Yeah. Stu?
Yeah, I can hear us, Stu. Stu's fucked his hearing up again. Can you hear me, BB?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. We got one of those Amber Alerts and missing child or whatever it is. And it said, stay home. It's the law. I'm sorry, I gotta let Stu back in. If Stu would just sit still.
Check.
Stu, can you hear us? Stu,
Can you?
Stu, can you hear us?
Of course he can't.
Wait, let me message in our group chat.
Just tell him we're here. Sit still. Stop moving around and scratching your ass or whatever the hell he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going live in about 2 minutes. But anyway, there was this Amber Alert, like a missing child. Stay home. Stay home. It's the law. And it was kind of funny because the streets are busier now than they were anytime during the first state of emergency in March here in Canada. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we can hear Choo Choo Stu, but he can't hear us.
He just checked over our chat. I told him we can hear
tell
him.
him we can hear him.
Yeah.
It's his speakers.
No, my headphone wire come out. Sorry.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Choo Choo Stu.
I wasn't even moving.
You're just a fuck up, is what you are.
Thank you. I'll have something to boost my confidence on a Friday night. Thank you.
But this is why everyone loves you.
I used to go out with the girls and party and stuff like that.
You know what?
I'll spend my Friday night with these two guys and just get slagged down every step along the way.
That's why we love you, Stu.
The important thing is, Choo Choo, it happened on the pre-show. So now we're going to go live. Let's get this party started here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Cape Crew Radio is the name of the show. I got to click on the radio and all that good stuff, and we'll get this party started. Good there. And sit back, ladies and gentlemen.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The year is 2021. And yes, it's still here. Oh, no, not that. Hush, hush, dear. That's not what I meant. So don't take the mick. Here we go. It's time to play. Let's do it again. Cave Crew Radio. From our studios in London, England, Queens, New York, and Ontario, Canada. Let the adventure continue wherever it may bring us. Live on cavecrewradio.com and on Facebook Live and YouTube. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. I'm chuffed to bits. Tally ho, cave dwellers.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I mean, we got to solve to do that. I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clement, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power play goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed, it is Cave Crew Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. My name is DK, and we were having a lot of fun on the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever get a chance to join us, we're just shooting the shit and having some fun. We've got a returning host joining us tonight. We'll hear from him in just a few minutes. And it is Friday night. It is the pandemic. It is lockdown. It is a state of emergency. Wherever you are, share this with your friends. Tell them what's going on. We guarantee we're going to have a lot of laughs tonight. We've got a few cool stories. We've got some things to catch up on. And we've got some brand new developments to the John Dillermand saga, if that's what we're going to call it. It's some brand new John Dillermand you're definitely going to love later on. So stick around and hang out with us. We got a lot to talk about, so I don't want to, hold the mic all night. So I'm going to turn it over to the reigning commanding commander-in-chief. The Sir Big B has been ordained by the Queen herself, the Duke of Uranstencheli, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, always the epicenter of something.
Yes, I am Sir Big B, your president-elect of the United States of America. Coming, January 20th, I will be officially inaugurated in. Yes, this week I am in the epicenter of everything restaurant issues related.
Yes, I can't wait.
Oh my goodness! As we were discussing last week, my Red Lobster fiasco, where Abdul may or may not have run off with my food, and we were talking to Jeff, the DoorDash delivery guy. I've been corresponding with Red Lobster during the week, and I'm getting a full refund. And they gave me a $25 gift certificate for my troubles. But go ahead. I was going to say, but my issues with restaurants don't stop there, because over the week, not over the weekend, a few days ago, sitting on my couch, thumbing through Facebook or whatever it is, I get a text message from my bank. Did you authorize these charges? and there's
Oh,
three.
no.
There's three transactions listed there, and two of them I did. One of them was an ATM and something I purchased, and then there's a $470 charge at Del Frisco's restaurant in Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in New York City. I am 3,000 miles away from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
So no, I did
How
not
do you
charge
spell that?
400.
Well, you're bringing in our other Del Frisco's.
Del Frisco's, DELFRISCO''S. It's a steakhouse. Del Frisco Steakhouse. Yes. So $470 was charged to my debit card at Del Frisco's restaurant in Los Angeles, California. So obviously I'm not there. My debit card has now been canceled by my bank. They declined the transaction. So luckily I'm not out the money. I'm now just out my debit card. So I'm waiting for a new one in the mail.
Very elegant restaurant.
Oh, it's high class. I wish that charge was true and I was there charging it, but unfortunately I am not.
We may need to call Del Frisco's. Check on your order.
And find out where it is.
Yeah.
We can see if maybe Jeff, the DoorDash delivery guy, is going to get it.
Or Abdul. Maybe he's got a helicopter.
Well, that was the conspiracy theory going on during the week, where our good friend from England thought maybe that Abdul ran off with my card and decided to start charging.
Bring him in. He's got a lot of catching up to do. He's probably got a lot to say about last week.
He does have a lot of catching up to do, and I see he's got a salt and pepper beard going on. Is London there?
Yeah, London's here. Check. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you just fine. The pre-show, you've got a way of dampering audio. We're in the middle of a very intense conversation, and you'll say, "Big B, can you hear me?"
Yeah, I love the Big B's red lobster order. My mouth was watering when he had ordered it, and my heart sank when his order didn't come. But I think Abdul has got a little scam going on, because sometimes the card, is printed on a receipt. So Abdul drives around a couple of hours a night, takes a couple of orders, sits in the back of his Prius, has a little feast. He probably brings his family in, Yeah,
well, this is a very good point, Stu. You got your money back. You got a credit to spend on another meal, which I have a question about that. But
sure.
What happened to DoorDash? What penalty did DoorDash receive about this?
I don't know. When I was talking to Jeff, the DoorDash guy, when it was that day that it was happening, and he was on the other line with DoorDash, I guess the headquarters. He came back to me when he called me back. He said, unfortunately, since I ordered directly through Red Lobster, their website, there was nothing DoorDash could do.
So Abdul is scot-free.
See, I imagine when you go into Red Lobster, right, as a driver, right, you got two bags sitting on there. One's for Brian and one's for Fred. He picks both up, okay?
Yeah.
He grabs both, chucks them in his car. He delivers Fred's, phones his wife, and he said, "Darling, we're eating some good stuff tonight." And then they go home and eat it. There's always little scams going on. They might not have done your credit card, but
it's quite possible that
Abdul and his family definitely ate well that night.
And that's because I did get a family meal, because it was
Jason
my kids.
Scott's Domino's. If Jason Scott has ever lost a Domino's pizza along the way, it's probably Abdul or one of Abdul's. They're probably like a cartel.
Yeah.
There's probably a cartel, because I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm not trying to be prejudiced, ladies and gentlemen, but every time you order DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, whatever it is, it's Abdul. One may call themselves Frank, one may call themselves Jane, one may call themselves Henry. It's fucking Abdul. And they probably got a conspiracy where I agree. They might be enjoying your food, so they're saving on groceries. They may be reselling the food.
But can you imagine in Brian's household that night, and they're all sitting there and they're going, oh, what did you order? Oh, yeah, I ordered the lobster. Yeah, I've got the soft crab or something like that, and whatever it is, and they're all like salivating over the menu, and it just never comes.
Oh, I'll tell you, me and my wife earlier that day were discussing what we can do for dinner, and she wanted seafood. So I know Red Lobster delivers, so I was like, all right, we haven't done it in a long time, and it's like a once in a while treat because it's expensive. Let's do Red Lobster. She's like, great, I want this, and I got what I wanted. I asked my kids what they wanted, so we're all waiting, and my wife comes home. And she's hungry. She's like, oh, I can't wait for the food to get here. I'm hungry. Sitting down, waiting. We're watching the clock. She's like, what the fuck is this food?
Yeah.
And that's when, all this, I got on the phone with everybody. But yeah, we were all sitting there waiting. We're hungry, looking forward to some nice crab legs and nothing.
And those delicious cheese biscuits they have. Oh, they're good.
Oh,
So we don't get Red Lobster or anything like that over here. So, and definitely not on a delivery.
I don't think they've expanded. That's something that hasn't gone.
No.
But anyway, listen, I want to get back to this for a minute because I think we're onto something, and I think you could gather the gypsies over by the allotment at your Stench Alley, and we could probably profit with this in England, like the Abdul militia.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's what do they call that? The dark web.
Yeah.
Where there's places that you and I don't search. And Abdul probably has a site you can sign up to, or maybe it's on that, what do you call, Reddit.
And sells it at half price.
Yeah, and an alarm comes up or a notification on your phone. There's apps for everything, right? When the tornado
who wants this? Who is like a mystery bag? Who wants this? It's a $50 bag. Going for $25.
Yeah, Abdul's at 42nd and Broadway, and he's got a full order of Red Lobster, highest bidder. And then you see it on the screen. It's like going like this. And, poor Big B's going to pay $35-$40 for this. And fucking Henry, the homeless guy at the subway, gets it for $10.75. It's crazy, but it's the Abdul militia. It's a great idea.
By the way, it was $105.
There you go.
Total order.
Some guy trying to.
And what was the kids eating as well?
Happy Meals.
What's the kids eating with that?
Well, my little one likes crab, and my older son wanted the mac and cheese.
Okay, so most of the value went to most of the value went to Big B and his missus.
Like
we both had snow crab and I got something else with, I forget what else I got with it. I had some
the
snow crab.
Captain's Feast is the best. You get like steak and shrimp, and my wife loves crab too, but my kid would do the same thing. All the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah. I'll have fucking chicken fucking dippers or something,
Yeah.
That was my older son. That was always, you'd ask him when he was younger, you'd ask him, what's your favorite restaurant? He'd say Red Lobster. Why? The mac and cheese. Great.
Yeah.
It's like Kraft mac and cheese. It's just boxed mac and cheese. It's
Yeah. It's soul destroying, really, but they will learn. They will learn.
They do. And my son's almost 17, and he's now eating all kinds of good stuff that he never.
My boy is 17, and he still eats fucking chicken dippers.
Well, chicken nuggets and chicken fingers will always be a staple for that generation. At some point we got to call Del Frisco. Big B's got to say, look, I've got this charge. I was going to take it to the authorities, but what do you got? What can you get me? Pack it on some dry ice. Let's see if we can get
and ship it on over. Well, it's the order's already been declined. I have my money back, so they're not going to send me anything. But
but you can tell them now you're enticed, and you're in Queens, and you're thinking of buying a Del Frisco franchise.
Oh God. Well, they have one in Manhattan. There's a Del Frisco's in Manhattan.
There you go. Tell them to ship the order to Del Frisco. You should get a free order. Our mission tonight, he's got $25 on a Red Lobster.
Yeah.
I think if we get 50 on a Del Frisco tonight.
Mate, it's lockdown, and I don't think many restaurants are giving away freebies at the moment.
Yeah, that certainly isn't happening here because nobody's allowed to eat inside the restaurants. Everybody's hurting. That's not happening. But last week's Red Lobster dilemma led to me going to the fish store, buying a nice big thick salmon, getting some crab legs, and I posted pictures on Facebook. I smoked some salmon last week and had some crab legs, and it was wonderful. It was actually better than Red Lobster.
Were those crab legs, or was that fucking Godzilla?
Those were king crab legs. Alaskan king crab.
Fucking, I don't know.
Brian,
where
huge.
Brian, I don't know about you. I mean, all three of us cook quite a lot, but the only problem is when you cook this delicious meal, is that when you serve it up, you wish someone else had served it to you, and you hadn't had to do all that work.
No, actually, I like doing that. That's why I do it all the time. That's like, barbecuing and smoking has become like a huge hobby of mine. I love doing it. I wish somebody else besides the family was there so I could get outside opinions and stuff.
I'm coming. I'm coming after the pandemic, brother.
See, I cook lovely. No, I cook lovely meals and that, and then I think like when I've cooked it, I don't really want it half the time because I've cooked it and I've been there sweating over it, and they go, "Is it ready yet? How long? 10 minutes? 5 minutes?" Do you know what I mean? They and I'm doing like three different menus like half the time,
Right.
And like so like yours is coming with mine because we're having the same, and everyone else is coming first. And by the time I get out, I just think, fucking hell.
One thing
give me a bowl of cornflakes or something,
I think because you're jaded, though.
One thing I noticed about Stu is the way he plates a meal. Does your family truly appreciate that? Because I remember, this is going back about 15 years or so ago, but I plated a meal for Melissa, and I scattered the parsley around the outside, and she looked at me and goes, "What the fuck is this?" And the meal was delicious, but I spent all this time trying to arrange the vegetables into like a collage, and she laughed in my fucking face. I never did it again.
See, I haven't cooked professionally for 20 years, 18 years, something like that, but I'm a better chef now than I was 18 years ago. And when I plate up my food for my family, I do it with love, and I do it like I try and do it as much as a restaurant style as I can. Like,
where'd he go?
The thing I get while we're waiting for him is, I don't know if you were in the chat that one day. He goes, "I'm going to the shop. I've got to get gourmet cereal bowls." I don't know about you, but if I'm having a bowl of cornflakes, I don't really give a shit what bowl they're in.
We use disposable bowls here.
Back. Yeah, exactly. Hang on, he's back. He's back.
Where is he?
It's the Wizard of Urine Stencelli.
Can you hear me?
Oh, now we can hear you. Yeah, now we can hear you.
We've heard you the whole time. What did you do? Pick your speaker? Like,
I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here. My hands are there on my lap.
If you're gonna go pee, just tell us you need a break. You don't have to
I've got a bucket behind the computer, so I'm good. No, I always plate up my food really nicely, and I served a flat iron steak. I don't know if you call it that over there, but I served flat iron steak the other night, and they were tucking into it nicely. And I said, "Do you know how much this costs?" Like, and we always take photos of the food as well. We don't really post it, but it's just a thing we do, I think my daughter posts it somewhere, but I said that's like 30 quid, £30, in this restaurant that I walk past, and I'll do it for £4. You know what I mean? It's like I enjoy cooking, but I wish someone else would cook mine.
And that's what I was kind of saying before. I think because you've done it for so many years, you did it professionally, you're almost jaded to it a little bit. Whereas this is new to me.
Yeah.
So it's become a really a new hobby over the past year or so. So I enjoy every second of it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you did it, you've been there, done that, 6 times around the block already. And you're like, somebody else could take over,
Yeah, I still enjoy doing it, but I wish someone else would do it to how I want to do it and then just serve it to me.
well, Cave Crew TV, DK, has a question.
Yes, I do have a question. I mean, because everyone's so excited, we're all back together, and I don't want us all to talk over each other. I'd like to bring to attention Choo Choo Stu here.
Hey,
and I don't know, just a way off topic. Is that a really expensive helicopter headphone, or did you lose the other half?
No, this is like the new thing in headphones in podcasting. It's you have one earpiece and that's all you need.
It's like those new beards that are only going the monkey tail or whatever they call it.
Those stupid things. Well, you DK, you do that too. You only have one bud in your ear.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but I do that intentionally,
right?
Because if I have both, it screws up my talking. Because I don't know, when you talk, do you hear yourself?
No, and that's the thing about these. I'm used to it because being in the studio playing music, you always have both headphones on, so you get used to hearing yourself back where you don't hear yourself anymore. Like at the beginning of the night,
one.
That's why you have one, right? But at the beginning of the night, I'll hear myself initially, so I know how loud I am. Like you said, I was low when I first joined, so I'll hear myself initially, knowing how loud I am as far as my level goes, and then for the rest of the time, I won't hear myself anymore. I'm just used to having both on. That if I had one off, I would be thrown off.
Now, see, I still think though, and you guys can call me crazy, I still think he lost the other end of the headphone, and he won't tell us. And I'm gonna stick to it like glue. That is a regular set of fucking Dr. Dre's that were probably $500, and you probably sat on your fat ass while you were playing your ukulele or whatever the hell it is you do, and you just like your microphone stand. I'm calling you out. Yes, I am. I miss you dearly, but that ain't no fucking special headphone. You sat on it and cracked the other fucking headphone off.
I've got like a proper set here behind me on the skull. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
And they're Bluetooth headphones. And I just worked out tonight you can actually plug the wire into it, so I can have them wired. But because they're Bluetooth, I didn't want it to fuck up the connection and all that, Yeah. So I've never really bothered with them.
You send me the Amazon link to buy that single fucking headphone.
These type of things aren't available on Amazon. I'm sorry, they're not. They're like people email you if you want to buy them.
The audience is joining right in with us. I think you should start a line of special headphones, and there's another chance for us to make some money.
The Choo Choo Stu signature CCR headphones.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, he sat on it and he cracked it off, and he's not man enough to fucking admit it.
I still want to know why, while we have him like close up here, I still want to know what he's got. He's got this salt and pepper beard going on here. I still want to know about that.
It's nice. It's like,
well, I'll tell you what it is. Like when I first ever sort of started to grow a beard, which was probably like a couple of years ago, my wife looked at me with disgust. And ever since then, it's been my sort of objective, I suppose. I think, fuck it, I'll grow it as long as I can.
Right.
So I've given away with the sides, and I think I'll put the energy into the length here
with an elastic band.
And my intention is to sort of grow it and put some beads in it. I was thinking of dyeing it blue or something.
Dyeing it blue.
Can't wait. Choo Choo Lou.
Well, we missed when he dyed his hair blonde.
Yeah,
because he was either at work or sick or whatever it was. We missed him that whole period. So if he dyes his beard blue, that would be wonderful.
So blue. I do have to ask you, because Big B has been constant. I mean, obviously, Mrs. B is used to the long hair and used to have a full beard.
Big
but
B
now
hasn't been constant because he used to have
hang
the
on
whole.
a minute. Let me give my point. He's fairly constant. He changes a little bit, but he hasn't cut his hair. He hasn't dyed it. He hasn't put it in fucking Jamaican braids. I'm pretty constant. I'm either clean shaven or I got a goatee. Only because it itches the fuck out of me when it goes down the sides. But you've done a lot of things. You've got tattoos. You've dyed your hair blonde. You've come on air as a transvestite. How does your family react to all these little nuances, may I call them, that you have?
I don't know. They don't really say a lot, really. I mean, I am dying to get back into Choo Choo Stu again.
Wait.
And
did you crucify her as a scarecrow at the
I just need to make it my daughter's idea rather than mine, because it sounds weird if it's my idea. But as soon as my daughter realizes, yeah, why don't we do you one night? I say, yeah, that's a good idea, love. Let's do it. But I am
I'm gonna have his toenails painted. Oh, I can't wait. You got to do a live stream.
I've got a lovely frock for it, and every time I watch this, there's a program my daughter watches. It's I don't know if it's the right word, like trans. It's like models, but they're blokes. I don't know what it's called, but it's like transvestite.
Asexuals.
And they're like models and all that. And like my daughter loves watching it. And I keep putting hints. Oh, I'd look good with that. Like I'd look nice with that. But I think, I would quite happily go down the shops with a nice frock.
A lot of our more recent listeners, they don't know Choo Choo Stu. They don't know what we're talking about.
But you got to be careful when you're talking about this with your family. They might start thinking you're heading down the road of Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'd support me either way.
And who was the Chinese guy? Who was the Chinese character you portrayed?
Choo Choo who?
Choo Choo who? That's it. Choo Choo. The man of 1,000 faces.
No, it was Choo Choo Choo.
Choo Choo Choo.
Oh yeah. Choo Choo, that was it.
Choo Choo who is the psychic.
The psychic.
Choo Choo Choo.
Yeah, too many characters. Even I can't keep track of them.
But they're not all characters. They're just personas of my personality, I suppose.
But see, now the way he looks right now, Big B, he could be Choo Choo Fu Manchu.
Choo Choo Fu Manchu. I like that.
Yeah.
I think he looks very distinguished with the salt and pepper going on there.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it's very distinguishing.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to keep it growing for as long as I can, to be honest.
Anyway, listen, before we get to any of the stories or John Dillermand and all this other shit, did we cover all our things we had to cover? I think so, right?
I guess.
Eric Drakes.
Yes.
Friend of the show. Haven't seen him in chat for a while. But he posted tonight in Cave Crew Radio, and I thought it was really cool. I said, I'm going to share this. For those of you that are fans of the National Football League, they recently took away the name of the Washington Redskins because it was offensive. And the same is happening everywhere, right? The Cleveland Indians, perhaps the Chicago Blackhawks, the Edmonton Eskimos. Everyone's under siege. And he said, I thought of you guys, and I saw this T-shirt posted on a site, and he thinks this is what the now known Washington Football Club should change their names to. And how can anyone argue with it? They hate us already. How about the Washington Caucasians?
I wish they would call themselves that, but they won't. And the left, the left will lose their mind if they call themselves the Caucasians. They will call it white supremacy.
Right. So, you got a good point. So we've gone from being prejudiced to our indigenous people to now they're trying to steal the limelight from us.
Right. And by the way, the Redskins the Redskins were not a prejudiced name against indigenous people because one, it's a war term for a warrior, and two, you know who came up with the name? An indigenous American Indian came up with the name Redskins for the Washington Redskins.
So I don't know about you. I don't know if this is how sports are in England, but I'm sure I can speak for Canada and the United States. If you have a sports team named after you, if you have a street named after you, hell, if someone builds a statue for you, it's an honor.
Yes.
It is not an insult. Giving a team, we have a saying in hockey, and I'm sure you had this when you played Big B as well, your ball and stuff. It's not the name on the back. It's the logo on the front in hockey, or the logo up here, or the logo on the front of your hat, right?
Yep.
So being a Redskin meant something.
Yep.
It wasn't
meant something.
No.
And here's the thing. If these fucking idiot corporations or teams or whatever would just stand up to these whiners and these liberal douchebags and just say no, they lose their footing. They lose any backing they have. You just tell them, no, we're not doing it. They can't go any further. They don't know how to go any further. Perfect example was,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's the Indians or the indigenous people or the Aboriginal or the Native American Canadians, whatever you want to call them. I don't think it's them that's raising the ruckus.
No, it's white liberals who want to stand up and want to be the voice. Now tell me what's more racist. They think they can be the voice of every minority in the country. And they're going to stand up for the poor Black, Latino, Native American communities because they won't speak for themselves. Tell me what's more racist, that or just having a team name called the Redskins?
Assuming I'm old fashioned. Stu, you're a Western guy. You like Stu's playing billiards right now.
No, I'm not. No, what I was thinking is, like, we've got my local football team, right, or soccer team, is Tottenham Hotspurs. It's about 2 miles from where I live, their stadium. Now, they're known as Spurs or Tottenham Hotspurs, but the supporters are the Yids, right? You're a Yid, which is a name for a Jewish person because it's a typically Jewish area, Tottenham. In London.
I didn't know that. That's I'm ready for Jeopardy now.
So they say, "Are you a gooner?" Like people will say to me, "I'll get in a taxi," and a guy say to me, "So are you a gooner supporting Arsenal, or you're a Yid supporting Spurs?" And I don't take offence by any of it. I just say I don't really support any of them. But if I had to, I would support Spurs, which is what my son supports. It's a local team.
Is he a Yid?
He's a Yid.
Your son's a Yid.
He's a Yid, but he's not Jewish. But he's a Yid.
He's just, let's go Yids.
Yeah, people say, who do you support, mate? Yeah, I'm a Yid. And everyone would know. It's not like that you're a Jew hater or anything like that. Right. You don't hate Jews.
You're cheering for the Yids.
Yeah, you're cheering. It's just, it just gets ridiculous. And this Redskin things, it's like, it's just so, I just find it so sad.
So if you're going to a Yid game, do you guys all go there with like your candelabras there, the Hanukkah things?
It's just the area. It just happens to be the area. You're a Yid,
Now, I mean, you could, if you look mostly in football, and when this whole thing came about, I started thinking about all the football names. You could take almost every single name and associate some sort of racism, terrorism, whatever.
And find
the minute-
and find defense.
and find defense. The Minnesota Vikings. Okay, well, the Vikings raped and pillaged everybody they conquered back in the 1500s.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Raiders, my team. Raiders are pirates. Pirates raped and stole whatever they could. Same with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots. Patriots were considered racists when they came over. You could take any team and figure out some sort of race.
The Miami Dolphins, we captivate them at SeaWorld.
That's they should be free. Why would you call the team a dolphin? They should be free animals. So you could take any name and do. If you just now what I was saying before, if they stood up and said no, they would the left would lose their base. A perfect example was a political commentator, Ann Coulter. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a right-wing political commentator, and she called a Democratic mayor a faggot, not making fun of his sexuality, a faggot in the way like you're a pussy, you're a bitch, you're not doing it, you're a faggot. The left got all up in arms.
Yeah, it doesn't mean to say that she's against homosexuality.
No,
or
not at all.
Gays. It just means that guy is a fucking faggot, is a pussy.
Right. And the left jumped on, you have to apologize, this and that. They're going to cancel her, all that. She outright said, no, I'm not apologizing. And it died right there because she wouldn't cower to it. If you cower to it, they become stronger. If you just say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
They can't go any further. They don't know how to.
Yeah. What they want is you to go on TV and you go, look, I said faggot and I've really offended all the gays and all this and the LBG fucking T's or whatever they're called. It's just, it's
and that's what they want. They want the apology tour. They want to, look what I did. I made you change your name. I have the power. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder now if someone's going to come along someday and start saying you can't rerun that show anymore. The theme song of the TV show is offensive. For instance, the Jeffersons. How things don't burn on the griddle.
But
I'll tell you.
But the problem is, right? We don't care if they're gay, fat, thin, red Indian, black or green or Chinese. Like in a sports team, right, or anything really. It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, not at all. It's all bull.
But and let me tell you, DK, from your example, that already happened. The Dukes of Hazzard is no longer on TV. The Dukes of Hazzard, remember, the General Lee had the Confederate flag on the roof.
And Little Britain.
And they took off Live PD, and everything is just everyone. Stop getting your feelings hurt so much, and do what they tell you to do. Stay at home. Shut the TV off.
But Little Britain was one of the.
I love that show.
It was one of the most popular shows over here, and the people that were on it are presenters on Britain's Got Talent and baking shows and all sorts. Oops. And everyone loved it. Everyone loved it, and then it's just has to be. It's actually been taken off air.
Why? I don't know the show, so why did that get taken off air?
Well, Little Britain has there's some racist things in it.
Well,
but the comedy is directed at the person making the racism.
Well, right. the one guy pretends to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And the other guy pretends he's gay.
Well, one guy's dressed as a woman in the Women's Institute, and the Women's Institute are generally judging cookery competitions and stuff like that. So the guy dressed as a woman takes this. Let's just take it as a little cake. So he takes a cake and he goes, very nice. And they say, who cooked this? And they said, Abdul cooked it. And then, so the joke is then he vomits. Because Abdul or whoever, some black name or Indian name, someone has cooked it, and then he projectile vomits, and it's just like a non-stop because Abdul has cooked it. But it's a joke. It's like
it's the same as the bald guy, the fatter guy,
plays
the dude in the wheelchair, And every time the other guy leaves, he gets up and walks.
Yeah.
And then goes back. It's funny. You got to Google it, Big B. It's not harming anybody. It's funny. And then he plays that girl in the camp. I don't know. You'd have to watch the episode.
Yeah, like a Weight Watchers. But I'll tell you what happens in England, right? Okay. If you want to be like a TV presenter or something like that, let's just take one show. It's called Country File. All right. And it's like generally farming and agricultural and stuff like that. So they're out in the field. So traditionally they would have, a guy out in the field. They go, look at these fucking lovely carrots, and they pull them up. They're fucking lovely.
Right.
Now they're in the middle of a field, but the guy is in a wheelchair. I'm not joking, right? Now, I've got no problem with the guy in a wheelchair, but why fucking push that guy out in the middle of nowhere in a wheelchair? But it's true. It happens, right?
Right.
Then we've got TV presenters, right? So, right. And you can't see the guy, but it's like an audio thing. And they go, right, that was Little Britain. And next up on 4, but he doesn't talk like it. He goes, that was Little Britain. And next up on 4 is Star Wars. And he's some kind of spastic.
Right.
And I don't mean it in a horrible way, but he's a spastic.
Can you do that again, please?
But then you've got.
I really want you to do that again. This is a new character, Choo Choo Kaboo.
But now, then you've got other shows, right? And it's a quiz show, it's a panel show, and you can't be on it unless you've got a fucking arm missing, right? And then the weather. If you want to be a weather forecaster, chop your fucking hand off. And I'm not joking. I am not even joking. I can't name them, but there's at least 3 people. And they go, right. And they're pointing, they're pointing, they're going, right. And over here in London, and there's no arm. It's a stump.
You sure it's like green screen?
It's not, but that is the way it is. Unless you've got some kind of major, and then I used to watch a show. It's like it was like a consumer show, and the people getting ripped off. I love the show. They bring in this fucking woman in a wheelchair, and she's got a fucking lift. And
Did you
there? And she goes, "Oh, these people got ripped off with this." But why? It just I'll just switch it off. I cannot watch it.
What did she say next?
Listen, I've got an Auntie Joan with no legs. Right? I'm all for people with no legs and limbs. Yeah.
Stu, if I know you well enough, you're watching that woman in the wheelchair and you're in the cabin masturbating. You love those kind of people.
Oh, I don't. I honestly don't. And it's not that I don't love them. God bless them. But get a job on fucking radio, or that woman who's got a list. Just get a job packaging stuff.
I want to do a Cape Radio reveal. I've never told you guys this, but I have no legs.
Choo Choo, wait, calm down. Choo Choo Stu's getting excited now.
I know, but can you do the woman in the wheelchair or the guy? Yeah, do that for me one more time.
I just hate that. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm in the middle of a fucking field. Some cunt has pushed me here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, And this woman,
fucking field. My name is Joe.
She's fucking dribbling. She's dribbling all down her fucking beard or whatever. Oh, welcome to Watchdog. Watchdog, that's it. What it's called, Watchdog. Oh, yeah, Watchdog. We love wheelchairs. And I just fucking. I used to I used to watch you, darling. I used to watch the show, but it's off.
I think I just
not because I don't like people in wheelchairs, but because she's got the job because she is in a wheelchair, and it's the BBC. It's fucking too politically correct.
I don't know how I'm going to top that.
Wow.
But it's true. Channel 4, the presenter of an evening is a spastic. And I'm sorry. It's just true, and I don't want that.
Is there any that do stand-up comedy?
Yes. There is. We got. I don't know what it's called,
I got
but
mute.
we've got cut. I know I switched it off straight away the other night, and there's a woman. She's got a cerebral palsy. I'm fine with that. I understand what it's all about. Yeah, she thinks normally, it just doesn't come out, and she's on there, like there, trying to tell a joke, and it doesn't really work with me. I'm not finding it funny in any shape or form.
Wow. And you got mad at me, Big B, the time I did this.
But I understand cerebral palsy, right? I understand. I'm all for it. But don't try and fucking entertain me on a stage because it doesn't work. Like, I'm not laughing with you. You know?
I'm not laughing with you.
So you're laughing at them.
Well, I'm not even laughing at her. I'm not laughing at all, to be honest. You know?
Oh.
Can you bend your hand like that again? Like you...
Well, it's something like that. And I'm all for people with cerebral palsy.
We're going to get banned. The only thing that's going to save us to stay on the air is that he's all for it.
I am all for it. But I just don't want to see it on primetime TV. I don't want a presenter who can't talk presenting a woman who can't fucking, control her bodily functions.
Just so you know, this conversation here prevents every one of us from running for public office.
Oh, I've never been on it in the first place.
That'll be next. We'll have a prime minister with cerebral palsy who's fucking half black and half Asian.
Show me what you look like, Stu. Can you please do the acceptance speech? Come on, draw into Kenya for a minute and give us the acceptance speech of the half Asian, half Indian cerebral palsy guy giving us acceptance speech. No, it's probably the guy with Big B's food.
Yeah. It's just it just winds me up. It just winds me up. Take a breath, light a fag.
After that, we all have to take a breath.
All right, I think I know what it's time for.
But it is nothing racist. I just want to say that it's not racist. It's not disabilitist or whatever. I'm all for handicapped spaces. Yeah,
you use paper bags whenever you can.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Never know. And we got them for one more week, ladies and gentlemen. And here's something we haven't touched on, by the way, before we get into Dillermand and jump into a whole new cesspool of funny events. Choo Choo Stu is with us tonight. He normally works on Fridays, very late. He's a train driver and works odd hours and isn't able to join us all the time. And as you can see, judged by tonight's show, we're extremely happy when he's with us. But the reason Stu is with us tonight is because Stu had a illness, let's call it, Big B. And he was sure to text me. I believe I'm getting a cold. And before that, he told me that the guy that he trained had gotten COVID. And he also shows me a picture of his friends on respirators and all kinds of cheerful stuff, which I'm sure he's not he's not against them. Anyway, I make light of it and I shouldn't. It's a very serious situation. But anyway, the first thing he says to me is, I don't have COVID.
Wink, wink.
Like, okay, I'm good. I'm glad you don't have COVID. And the next morning I talked to him and he says, I'm positive I don't have COVID, but I've got yellow phlegm.
Let me just put like a preface or whatever you call it to this. So last Friday evening, I was working, but I felt a bit ill. and I was getting more and more ill throughout the night. I wasn't dying, I was like feeling quite rough. I was sniffling and runny nose. So when I got off my train, I called my boss and I said, you might want to give that an extra little wipe because I've been sniffing and sneezing, although I've been wearing a mask most of the time.
Most of the
No, I don't have to wear a mask on the train when I'm on the train on my own. So I sanitize everything anyway. So anyway, it's all been sprayed with this fucking magic Zuno stuff. So it doesn't matter if I've been fucking wiping my. It doesn't matter if I've been wiping my phlegm over the buttons. It would kill anything. So next 2 days I was in bed, like really unwell. And then I've been unwell all week, and I've had a doctor's appointment today. And I got signed off from work because I've got, from what I've told him, I've got a chest infection, and I need some, I need some loving and
here's
some rest.
My favorite part, because see, you don't share all this stuff with Big B. You don't share them about the yellow. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say that I am marked safe from the yellow flu. He gets antibiotics, Big B, and he texts me and he says, the doctors give me a sick note. I'm clear till after next Sunday. I said, that's excellent. You can rest up and you're better. He said, yeah, he gave me antibiotics. I think I'm going to save them just in case.
Well, it gave me antibiotics and steroids. What I'm saying is, I feel a bit better since I spoke to the doctor. I feel a little bit better. So
wait a minute. So at what point? Maybe you're out having a frolic. I'm not accusing you that you're a swinger or something, but you're out. At what point would you prescribe yourself antibiotics and steroids?
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
What are you saving them for then?
But I had to send like on an app a message to my doctor, and it was like 150 characters. So I had to be like sparing with my words. So so I said, bad cold, feel like chest infection, yellow phlegm, need anti-B's, taking daughter's inhalers. But
okay, but that does not answer my original question. What are you saving the antibiotics for?
That's a really good question, because I think every household medical cabinet should have some antibiotics there saved for a time when someone's really unwell. And,
right. First thing I do is I look in the medicine cabinet and I go, should I have a Tylenol or some amoxicillin?
Yeah. And at the moment, we've got no amoxicillin in our cabinet. So we now have amoxicillin in our cabinet for someone that gets, I don't think I need antibiotics, and you have to take the full course. I think it will be a waste. So I think plenty of liquids, fresh air, got the window open.
So wait a minute. At what point would you prescribe antibiotics to your family? Like, I don't know, Oscar has a corn, planner's ward. Like, when would you say, hang on, Grandma's secret remedy, I've got some amoxicillin from 2016.
No, they're going to last a year.
So what are you going to use them on? Your tomatoes? Like, what the fuck?
If someone gets unwell, they've got amoxicillin, haven't they?
But what happens in a year if nobody gets sick? What do you do with the antibiotics?
They'll still be fine. Can you prove they're not going to be any good? The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
Maybe the boy's going to come home one night from going to the, once we get back to normal and the kids are all out playing again and doing their thing, and he's going to go, Date, my urine burns. Take some of Nana's amoxicillin.
Yeah, and some steroids. Yeah. We know he'll be clear in a week.
I don't know if, like,
I actually went to, do you know when you try, have you ever been to the pharmacy and you want to have a quiet chat with a pharmacist? Have you ever had that?
No, but I'm hanging on the story.
Well, I went to this, I've had an itch. Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. I've had a bit of an itch. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm really itchy. Right. And she said, try this. And it's like a nappy rash cream. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A nappy rash cream.
So I tried it for a couple of weeks and it sort of, it softened the blow a little bit, you know. And I said to my wife the other day,
blow a little bit.
So I said to my wife, like, yeah, I said, that nappy rash cream, I said, I'm itching. She said, yeah, I've noticed you scratching in the night, you know. And I'm clean. I shower and all that, you know. It's not like I'm fucking. So.
Yeah, the show takes a twist, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to spend the next probably 10 minutes on the nappy rash.
No, so have you? It's basically like
we haven't, Stu. It's only you, so just tell us the fucking story. Don't ask us if it's happened to us.
It's like chef's arsehole, but it's like chef's bollocks and anus.
How can you drink without spitting it out?
Oh my God.
So anyway, I went to the pharmacy today. Was it today? Okay. No, yeah, it was 2 days ago. I went to the pharmacy and I thought I'd just have a little quiet word with the pharmacy. And there's a woman serving on the counter, and I could see the pharmacist in the background, like, you know, and I'm trying to sort of like going, yeah, can I have a quick word? Like, and he literally looked at me. I went like that. Can I have a quick word? Like, so come out, and then some other bloke has walked into the pharmacist, into the shop, like, you know, and he's standing about 5 meters away, and I've got a bit of an itch.
Just making casual conversation.
I said, I've got a bit of an itch. I said, I've tried the nappy rash cream. It's done no good. He said, no, you don't want that. You've probably got a fungal infection.
Fungal infection.
So he gave me that. He's gave me this fungal cream, and I give that a good old slurp, like round the bollocks and anus, and it's been good for 2 days. I think it's almost like a step forward from chef's arsehole.
So what were you doing that led to a fungus on your balls?
Well, it's sort of like
ass. It was.
I don't know. I think it's just I'm hot there. I'm always hot around there, so I've just got like a fungally anus and bollocks. Really.
So you may
swamp ass turned into fungus balls.
Yeah, but
now might be a good time to take the amoxicillin, by the way.
But it's funny, he's trying to have a quiet word with someone. You know, they've got like a little room, but you obviously can't use the little room at the moment. But you just go like, yeah, hi, I've got like a little personal problem. You know, I didn't say that, but it's got a little bit of an itch. You know, like, and sort of point discreetly. Do you know what I mean? You can't like.
And tell us about the person on the other side of the counter. What type of character was this?
Well, Abdul. It was Abdul in a white coat.
So he's
a crab leg.
So he's always got itchy ass.
I said, because I tried this this cream. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's good for tattoo healing. But I tried that, and it,
Vaseline.
No, it's like a, I can't remember what you call it, but it begins with
Eucerin.
B. But it's probably something along those lines, you know. But yeah. So anyway, he's dealt with this magic cream, and it works like a treat. Barely a scratch.
So you've got that tucked away for a rainy day as well.
Yeah. If
I have a look at Choo Choo Stu's medicine cabinet.
If I was grabbed down urine stench dally, and bum raped, it would slip in fucking quite easily right now.
If I was bum raped at urine stench. That's the most pleasant way of putting it. That is like a rated PG. If my asshole was ripped by Abdul in urine stench jelly, if I was bum raped.
But it's like, I'm glad I got that off my chest because you know, only my wife knows about it.
You don't even have to whisper when you're with us.
You won't tell anyone, will you?
No, it's a secret.
I guarantee you that this is going to be one of this week's video clips. It's going to be all over Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
It's between us three and Amanda.
And the other 8 people out there that are watching.
But the good news is the cream has worked, and I'm not really feeling much. I was just thinking the actual tube is quite small. But I've already been thinking.
You were bouncing around earlier and unplugging your headphones, and you had a little bit of the Mexican jumping beans, or
I know, but at least next time I've got the tube of cream, so I can just go to a different pharmacy. My mate sent me here for a tube of this. Something about his arse. I'm not sure. You know, not too sure why he wants it, but
yeah, the pretend mate.
Yeah. I'm just asking for a friend. Someone wants this tube of itchy bollock cream.
Does this cream get rid of an STD? Asking for a friend.
I haven't got an STD. Just to put it straight, you know. Just to put that straight. Well, at least I hope I haven't.
Curious how you got this staph infection in the first
it certainly sounds like an STD to me.
I just don't wake up in the morning and my ass is oily and itchy.
It's one of those things. You wake up, you don't do anything, you go to bed, you wake up fine. You visit a woman of the evening, you wake up with itchy asshole.
Every time Choo Choo Stu is on this show, I realize really something. I have a very boring existence.
Absolutely. That's why I called Stu the most interesting man in the world, because he is.
You could get an itchy area at any time.
You should come up with your own snake oils. You should get one of those things that grinds the pesto and take the amoxicillin and crush it all up and add a little bit of yogurt, or come up with your own shit.
Yeah, it's I say I shower every night before I go to bed, and I'm clean as a whistle. And then you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're just itchy.
Maybe you're being invaded by a specter or a ghost or something. I mean,
I'm just hoping I can put it all behind me now, and it's all you got to experience these things, don't you?
Could it be possible that it's whatever your spirit guide is? What's her name?
Kenya.
Kenya. Could it be Kenya trying to signal you?
Kenya was upset with me, actually, for sort of using her name in vain, I suppose,
Using whose name in vain?
Kenya's name, because she doesn't really like being on the radio. She's not too happy.
I can't disagree. YouTube user that Confucius says, "Man who goes to bed with itchy bum wakes up with stinky finger." Was your finger smelly, Stu?
I can't smell anything, can I? You know.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
That's right. He has the a cold, not the Rona.
No,
Wink,
but
wink.
I've had the Rona, and I haven't been able to smell properly since March time.
Wait, but last time we went through this, you were like at 50% of your smell.
All those smells and tastes.
And I probably am. But do you know,
We do that next week, Big B, we should get some miscellaneous things.
No, but you know, everything with a perfume smell, whether it's air freshener, whether it's deodorant or shower gel or washing up liquid, it all smells the same.
I'm looking back to the last time.
Your bum. Is there a chance you washed your bum with bleach?
No, bleach. I can't smell bleach. I can't smell.
Well, that's what I mean. Perhaps you washed your bum in the shower the one night you were overtired. You washed your bum with bleach. It got a little crusty, and hence the itch.
No, it's just I don't know what it is. I don't think my sense of smell will come back anytime soon.
I don't know if any of you will get this joke, but every time I spend time with Choo Choo Stu, I feel like I'm on the island of Moreau. You probably none of you have probably ever seen that movie. Google it.
I have not. The Island of Dr. Moreau. I have not.
Moreau.
No, I have not seen that movie.
I will send you a link. It's a strange movie.
I've just got to go do some housekeeping. If you just bear with me.
All right, go put some cream.
He's got to water the lilies and put on some cream.
You can see this is all true, ladies and gentlemen. We shouldn't make light of a Choo Choo Stu. I mean, he does live in the old country.
Right.
All right, we got to get to John Dillermand. We might not get to the stories, but that's okay. Oh, he's entertaining, ladies and gentlemen. And I think what happens, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are therapy for Choo Choo Stu because we're like his confessional.
Right.
And here comes.
We are his sounding board. We are his confessional. We are his therapist.
Yeah. Is that a skeleton mask in the back corner there?
That's where the real headphones are.
Yeah, but it's on something. I
what
still
do you have, Stu? What do you have?
I still can't get over the fact, and I will not be able to get over the fact of he will not admit to us those are broken headphones. Take a drink, Choo Choo Stu. I'm gonna tell you. A doctor, a witch doctor here in Canada. Yeah, just drink some beer. It'll calm your cough.
It'll help with the itchy asshole. There he goes. He's blowing Rona into the napkin.
Yeah, most of the stories can wait till next week. However, this cannot because there's been some breaking news since I even originally planned talking about this again. So you guys got to know what it's time for here. Yes, it is.
Hey, det John Dillermand. John Dillermand. Han er verdens ældste Dillermand. Der er næsten ikke noget, han ikke kan med det. Han kan svinge lidt rundt, han kan blive lidt flov. Han kan redde hele verden, hvis han bare fik lov. John Dillermand, John Dillermand, John Dillermand. John Dillermand, John Dillermand, John Dillermand.
Well, if you're new to this show, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome you to this conversation. But John Dillermand, in case you don't know, is a new child show in Denmark about a man with a giant penis. Now, before I talk about the two things I have to bring up tonight, Choo Choo Stu, you were not with us last week when we spoke about John Dillermand. What is your reaction to this new children's show in Denmark that is sweeping the nation? And by the way, Big B, I noticed that after we talked about it on Friday night, like say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the big news, Good Morning Mary, everybody kind of caught on. I don't know if we're feeding them news, if they're watching us right now, if they're looking for the breaking things, but we broke John Dillermand before anybody else did.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Stu, what was your reaction? I know you were listening to the show last week and not able to join us.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I was watching the show, or I was listening to the show, and then I was driving home and I tuned in, and after the show I Googled it and I've watched a couple of episodes since then. But I was sitting down with my tea and toast one morning, having my breakfast and that, and they actually brought the show on to this morning. It's like a magazine show. They sort of cover everything on there. And they had a psychologist on there, whether it was right and whether it was wrong. And I paused it and got the wife and my daughter involved and saying, we've been discussing this on Cave Crew. So, yeah, it's hit the news here as well.
And what was the family's reaction as you regurgitate your?
I know I got a bit of indigestion.
There's like some bad symptoms going on over there. I don't know what you did on the break. Did you just like pop a molly or what?
I was just vomiting in my mouth there and swallowing it. But
on there. Anyway, I should have had you on full screen, but I apologize. Anyway, go ahead.
No, personally, I enjoyed the show. I didn't realize it was actually aimed for kids. Like, had it been like these sort of these adult comedy shows,
satire, like Mr. Bill, we talked about.
Yeah, then it would have been perfectly fine. But it's aimed at children. Now, I mean, I don't know how old, because my youngest is 16 now, so it's quite a while since I've been watching kids' TV. But my kids would have just laughed at it and gone, "Oh, Willie has got big," or something like that, and they wouldn't really thought of anything else. But then my eldest daughter, who's 20, she said it's disgusting, it's creepy. It's like, and
I think you're right. I think children, and you've got the little one, Big B. I don't know if you're daring to put this on.
Unless you put it in their mind.
They laugh at farts. They laugh at,
unless you put it in their mind, they're just going to laugh at it. They're going to go, "Oh, he's got a funny willy." It doesn't mean that to say that the male is like a superpower over women,
Yeah, I agree. I think from a children's point of view, it's very innocent. Us as adults, well, Big B and I, as childish adults, think it's quite amusing, but serious adults, they think it's something crazy. So, two things I want to bring to mind. So, originally, what I had done is I picked an episode of John Dillermand. There's 8 of them, and this one was episode 3. John Dillermand, John Makes Money is what it's translated in English. And by the way, if you're wondering what his wife's name, it's Oldemore. Yeah. So John unfortunately overturns Oldemore's vine vase with his craze, and therefore has to find a job so he can buy her a new vase. But it's hard to find the perfect job when you have the world's longest diller. And I wonder if John's going wrong with the diller, or maybe it's in the music, is what the thing says. And then I have another picture here. I have to find it. Hang on. Let me get rid of this one. Hang on. Bear with me here, kids. So this is an actual screenshot from episode 3. You'll notice the hat in the middle is what do you call those people that juggle and shit, make money? Can't think of it.
I don't know.
Nah, they have names. We have a festival for them in town here. But anyway, they're all doing their thing. They're making, and John Dillermand sees they're throwing money in the hat. And somehow he gets his diller.
They're buskers.
Buskers, thank you. That's what they're called. They're buskers, making money, entertaining the crowd, yada, yada, yada. The guy there selling hot dogs or whatever. And John Dillermand somehow tries to, I don't know if he's stealing the hat or he's trying to do a trick, but he gets his diller wrapped around the big statue after he's already broken the vase. And then this picture that you see here is he is sitting at home with Olga Mort, and she sees him on the television.
Aha.
And
I'm curious about the I guess the child in the very center, lower center, in the purple coat, jacket, dress, whatever,
right,
with their arms up.
Yeah,
very excited that Dillermand got his giant penis caught around the statue.
Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they could set up a thing now where the kids could,
Slide.
start exactly and slide down the.
Yeah.
Are they zip lining on the penis?
Zip lining down the checker John Dillermand penis, and then there's a guy that looks like a chef, standing to the side. He looks like he's thinking. There's a couple that's gone for the walk. There's the guy's got his hot dog stand there. He realizes John Dillermand is a major attraction. I don't know how to explain it. I'm fascinated by this.
It seems like nobody has any issues in that scene, aside from the little girl, I would assume, with their hands high in the air, very excited by this. Nobody else seems to have an issue with him having a giant penis wrapped around a statue.
Now here's and obviously a sock that's big enough to cover it, that it's made of red and white candy cane.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But here's the point I want to make. We, because we're bred and we talk about this leftist, we're upset about everything, are offended by this. But maybe they've got it right. Maybe they're showing, like, accept everyone. Even the guy with the 42-foot polka dot weenie.
But don't you think, if we're going to go down that road, don't you think it's a little young to introduce some sexual organs?
But it's not sexual whatsoever.
I agree with Stu. I don't think there's anything sexual about that. We're the ones sexualizing this.
Yeah.
But this is geared towards, 4 to 6 year olds, whatever it was. Do you really want to point out the penis to them at that point in time?
Well, I'm sure look, boys know they've got a penis, right? At quite a young age, and they know the difference. So, and boys think the penis is funny. They stretch it and this, that, and the other, But they do. They're young kids. I've got a boy, and he would sit there and go, "Oh, look, my Willie, he's in the bath or whatever." It's nothing sexual, is it? It's good.
What's he, Dillermand? What do you have? One of those elastic band penises? Like,
well, fortunately for my son, he follows in his father's footsteps. But
it's stretches,
but this,
it's like Weeble Wobble, it never falls down.
I mean, John Dillermand doesn't see this lovely woman like
Olderman,
or whatever his name is, right? He's not out in the darkness and he sees this woman taking off her top and her bra and all that, and he's going woo, like, and a little whistle blowing, and he's like goes through the window at her. There's nothing sexual about it. It's just it's an aid. Someone gets the two kids get a balloon stuck up in a tree. Don't worry, I'll get it down.
I think that this, in a way, is supporting handicapped people.
So then, why?
Obviously, handicapped. I've always wanted a big schlong. I'm sure we all have. I've looked into it. The pumps don't work. The pills don't work. But you've always wanted something that would wow a woman. Put their husband into a cockhold situation. But John Dillermand, nobody wants anything like that. You could wrap it around your throat as a scarf in the middle of winter.
And that's my point. Why does it have to be a giant penis? Why not a giant arm, a giant thumb, a giant nose,
or an umbrella that zooms out and rescues everyone?
Maybe we need to get the creator on the show with a translator, like Erica Jord, the Swede, could. I'm sure Swedish and Danish is almost the same thing, except for a couple of vowels.
I'm sure Swedish for that. Okay, so in that instance, when Choo Choo Stu could bring on his wife, and Finnish and Danish could be the same thing.
It's all within 30 miles. It's like the woman that does Yo Lady Who, right? You yelling at Yo Lady Who. And it was Humana Who. And it's just a few little consonants and vowels that get shuffled. It's like playing a game of Yahtzee. That's all it is. They all speak the same fucking language. Come on now.
But my daughter brought up that, well, in Finland, everyone goes in the sauna. And no one worries about being naked and stuff like that. And then I furnished my daughter with a bit of information that I was like, when I was first in the sauna. And she said, well, how did you feel when you was first in the sauna? And I said, well, I was quite nervous and I had a few drinks beforehand. And then I got in there and we had more drinks. And I was quite relaxed swimming in the lake or the pond. And until my wife then walked out with my sister-in-law, or my future sister-in-law, walking around the side of the lake, sort of to join the guys, and I'm stuck in a pond with half inch and a dozen wrinkles.
Right, and you're pulling it, going pingo. Come on.
And it's just everything. You know what? Everything is just like the smallest it's ever been.
Big B, this whole show reminds me of It's a Small World After All.
Yeah.
And all you're thinking is that you're doing this sort of like walk of shame from the side of the lake back to the sauna, back to the safety of your towel and the sauna. And your wife and your future sister-in-law are there, and they're sort of like both looking at you, like up and down.
Wait, so if you're naked, everybody on the sauna is naked. Is your wife and your future sister-in-law naked too?
No. She said, "Don't worry, we're going after you. We're going once everyone's finished."
So they're clothed, or they at least have a bathing suit on.
Yeah. And
this reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale. It's very strange. Anyway, so listen, this whole thing goes even deeper. Okay, so last week, Big B and I, and now you, Choo Choo Stu, we're all very talkative about John Dillermand, and we thought we were onto something. So I post a video clip saying, stop whatever you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. We have more John Dillermand for you. I get a tweet. Well, we do, because it's our show Twitter. It's not mine. From Ung Tisman. There's a great Danish name. Ung Tisman. And she writes in some weird language, Danish, I guess, something. and connects me to an audio file, which God be gracious, by the wonder of Google, you can translate all this shit, which really does make it a small world. And Tisman is telling me to listen. I have made a John Dillermand song. And I said to her in English, which I hope went back to her, is that she knows that I'm going to play this on my radio show if it's okay. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is Tisman, John Dillermand's song, and she's apparently Danish. Listen to part of it anyway.
Goddag, det er John Dillermand.
Oh, Tisserman, car, John Dillermand. John Dillermand, vi er mere Tisserman end ung Tisserman. Det er John Dillermand. John Dillermand, vi er mere Tisserman end ung Tisserman. Det er John Dillermand. John Dillermand, John Dillermand. John Dillermand, John Dillermand. John Dillermand, vi er mere Tisserman end ung Tisserman. Det er John Dillermand. John Dillermand, John Dillermand.
Okay, it pretty much goes on for like 3.5 minutes like that. She is the club music version of Alex Cardinelli. I'm not saying that in a mean way, but like this guy's on fire now. Who was that Korean guy what was that famous song that came out a couple of years ago? You know the one. It was fuck. I can't think of it.
I can't think of it either.
Yeah, but there was that Korean guy, and he did that stupid dance, and it was like the most famous. So now we got Zimmerman doing the John Dill, and lady, I'm so fascinated by this. I'll probably play it again. Catch this really quick again.
Goddag, det er John Dillermand.
Oh, Tisserman, car, John Dillermand. John Dillermand, vi er mere Tisserman.
So I know we're in COVID, but I can imagine 3,000 people in a club, and you know all these rappers. What do they do? Represent, or what is it they do? They get everybody doing this, right?
Yep.
I don't know what the saying is because I'm not a fan of it, but you know who's in the house? Who's it?
Yep.
You're gonna have like 4,000 Danaks or Danish people, whatever they call themselves. They're gonna be flocking in from Finland, Sweden, and Norway, and they're all gonna John Dillermand.
Well, you remember what we were talking about last week? Who's the one that approved this? Whoever it is did something right, because everybody's talking about it. They're making remixes of the song about it. This is going to be a huge hit.
The only person I can think that could play John Dillermand into the documentary, though, is Ron Jeremy. He kind of looks like him, and he's got the tool.
Well, I think he's in jail now for rape. So
they got to get him out.
I don't think he'll be playing John Dillermand.
And Choo Choo Stu has either gone mute or he's
I'll mute himself.
Oh, there he is.
This wasn't just something that they just said, yeah, let's put it out. It went through like levels of management and psychotherapists and all sorts. It went through like many, many, many levels before they put it out. And like Brian says, it's you know, they had a reason to put it out, and it's publicity.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hit.
It's going to be a huge hit.
Dillermand, a social influencer.
Well, for the toddler crowd, it could be.
I'd love to see the creator of this, who came up with this, you know, like Big B says, scribbling in a coloring book or whatever the fuck you're doing, and then presenting this to the Denmark public television.
Yeah.
This is not Hulu. This is not the Disney Network. You're not selling it. This is a government-run television network.
Yeah. So what? So what is that? They're in the meeting. What is that thing that's jolting out of his groin? Oh, yeah, he's got a 30-foot penis.
No, I mean, who are we to criticize? We're the ones that introduced the Teletubbies and Blue's Clues.
That's a bit different than a giant. That's a bit different than a giant penis, though.
I love John Dillermand. He's an average-looking guy. His wife is named Ordermore. Yet he's the one with the biggest schlong of them all.
And I'd just like to say, I think the British invented Teletubbies.
Well, maybe you did, but they're all weird shows. Like I remember Jake having one that used to sound off in his bed in the middle of the night because they had this thing. If you roll a
Lulu,
yeah, Yulu, that's right, that's it. I remember he'd toss over in his bed with this yellow fucking Teletubby. We'd all be snoring, logs, and all of a sudden you hear Yulu, like what fucking like. I want to talk about a bad acid trip. Like, holy shit. Anyway.
Well, good
John.
Well done, the Danish, I'd say.
I am so confident in this show that I don't think next week or the week after or the week after that, we are going to have to talk about the origin of John Dillermand again. Because there's going to be some shit that's going to be happening. And shit ain't hit the fan yet. And John Dillermand is going to be bigger than the fidget spinner. I'm telling you right now. It's better than the fucking bucket water challenge or whatever the fuck it was.
I'm just looking forward to the doll coming out. Can you imagine the doll?
I was going to say, is there going to be action figures?
Yeah.
Is the penis going to have a kung fu grip?
What are those plants you buy that instantly grow?
It's like a chia pet.
Oh yeah, I want a chia pet, John Dillermand. Could you imagine that? It would wrap all the way down the staircase. A chia pet, John Dillermand. Oh Lord. And tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, we all have to wake up and be normal again.
That's right. I have to go to the eye doctor.
Oh, fuck. On a Saturday.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Good times.
Oh.
Why do you have to go there?
Actually, I had to renew my driver's license, and I have to get an eye exam for my driver's license.
Fair dinkum.
See, here everything's been suspended. You don't have to renew your vehicle. You don't have to renew your license. You don't have to.
We still have to do all those things.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a few minutes as we slowly start to wrap up here. And I have written nothing down, although I've had the absolute time of my life, I must say. Tonight has been one of my favorite shows in recent history. But we always ask you to name the show. And I have a really bad feeling that Big D's going to tell me that he has 10.
I have 6.
6. I knew it was going to be a high
I have
number.
6, but 2 I think are too long.
But I'd love to hear them anyway.
Of course, I'm gonna tell you what they are.
Yeah, they'll be funny, to say the least.
Absolutely.
We don't want that on solo. There we go. So let's anyway. I don't have a thing. I'm going to disqualify myself. Hang on, we got Chris. Who the fuck is Chris? Is that Ripka? Oily Choo Dillermand.
Okay.
Very.
If that is Chris Ripka, if Raw and Real is coming back, I want to come back on.
Yeah, I would like to do a John Dillermand documentary with you. I am an expert, unfortunately. Choo Choo Stu, over to you.
I only wrote one thing, and it was like zip line. I can't even read my own writing.
Every time he names a show, it's zip line, and I can't read the rest of my writing. It was the same last time he was here.
Zip line down the penis.
Okay. Zip line down the penis. Okay, so I have to here, I'll bring the paper over here so I'm not so far away from my mic. Big B, just you can read them all, but tell me the ones that count.
Okay, so first let me read you the two that I think are too long, but they're still worth mentioning.
They're worthy.
First one, if you want to be a weather forecaster, chop your hand off.
That was a classic.
Second one, I'll wait till you're done with your drink because I don't want you to choke.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm in the middle of the field. My name is Jolene.
I still like that. I gotta write that because
I'm in the middle of a field. My name is Jolene.
Yes.
Did I say that?
Can you do the impression again while I'm writing this?
I think he needs the verbal.
Come on, do it one more time. We don't see you but 12 times a year.
Did I say that? Did
It
I
was
say
my name is Jolene. It could just be shortened to my name is Jolene.
It could be shortened to my name is Jolene.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the show. I'm getting an itch on the top of my scalp, Stu. Can you send me some of that cream? I'm starting to twitch and do weird shit.
Just have a quiet word with the pharmacy.
Oh Lord,
Is that big? A quiet
title
word.
right there in itself. I had a quiet word with the pharmacy.
There you go.
All right, what's next?
My next one, because I don't know what this is, but Magic Zuno. I don't know what Magic Zuno is.
Weird. How do you spell Zuno?
I spelled it Zuno.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's the magic spray that they spray everything with. That kills all bacteria.
Like a Clorox or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one. I've had an itch.
Simple but true.
We all get these issues every now and again. Do you know what I mean?
Most people will say I'm itchy. Like they won't word it as elegantly as you do.
Are you ready for the next one?
There's two more.
Two more, yes. The next one is the Abdul Delivery Militia.
Yeah. The next one.
Okay. The last one comes. We weren't even on the air when this one occurred.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one. I was going to laugh.
No, we weren't even on the air when this one occurred. This was all the way back when Stu was having problems.
Yeah.
It keeps coming out of your butt cheeks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is when we need your help. And I'm still ready. I should just type it. Here's what we got. And we need your votes, and we'll give ours as well. I can't even read it, or I can't read my own writing now. Oily Choo Dillermand. Zip line down the penis. I'm in the middle of the field. My name is Jolie. But you know, the whole thing about that is you need to hear the story first. The magic Zuno or Zuno. I've had an itch. The Abdul Delivery Mafia. And it keeps coming out of your butt cheeks. I'll place my vote. I'm going to have two because we can narrow it down into like a semifinal.
Yeah.
I've had an itch, and I do like the Abdul militia, delivery militia. Feel free to chime in, chat. Choo Choo Stu, one or two, and we'll wither it down.
For the show purposes, I've had an itch. I like that. And the Abdul Militia one as well. I like that.
So that's 2 votes twice. Chat, I see there's a bunch out there. Just type which one you want. Help us. Big B, so far, no other votes for anything else. I've had an itch, and the Abdul Delivery Militia both have 2 votes.
Actually, my favorite was It Keeps Coming Out of Your Butt Cheeks. That's my favorite.
I do like that one too. Folks, we're in a standstill. But normally what I do here, Big B, is I would throw it back to you and I would say, it keeps coming out of your butt cheeks, 1 vote.
Yep.
But we have I've had an itch and the Abdul Delivery Militia. Each has 2 votes.
Yep.
We need to tie break that one.
So if I'm tie breaking between I've had an itch and the Abdul Delivery Militia, I go with I've had an itch.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, and trust me, the Abdul Delivery Militia will be in the teaser of the podcast, as well. It keeps coming out of my butt cheeks. But I've had an itch. Is the name of this show. Oh, what a wonderful time we've had, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate you coming in here with us. And I can't find the graphic I'm looking for, so I'm gonna have to go with something else. All right, so that's it for this week. We are guaranteed Choo Choo Stu another week because of the yellow phlegm flu. And so we do have stories left over, but they may wait 2 weeks. We don't know. But one thing I can guarantee is I'm sure there's going to be something to do with John Dillermand.
Absolutely.
Wait.
And I still think we should have called the Del Frisco Double Eagle Steakhouse, but maybe next week. All right, guys, anything else? I need to get some oxygen myself.
I have to pee like a motherfucker.
We always do. All right, kids, we will see you soon. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. CaveCrewNetwork.com. Be sure to come and see us real soon. We love you all.
Thank you very much for listening to the show. Now stay safe, take care, and wash your hands. You are listening to Cave Crew Radio, available on demand and live at cavecrewradio.com.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Fox and Friends in the morning, they're very honorable people.